Good morning, Virgo. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Ben. I'm going to do your reading. Just going to set my timer real quick. Okay. So yeah, welcome back. Thank you. I just woke up, so bear with my voice a little bit. Alright, so we're going to do our usual spread. We're going to do past, present, future. Which I might be changing that spread in the future. We're going to see. But for these readings anyway, until I get through all 12 for this month, we're going to be sticking with this spread. Alright, so let's see what you guys have going on. So you had the Ten of Wands fly out. So this card has popped out in a couple readings lately. So it seems like you, but also the energy around, is that people are feeling very overwhelmed. I know I've definitely felt that too, because I'm also a Virgo. It has felt very overwhelming lately, where it just feels like you have a million things to think about, a million things on your mind, a million things going on. Maybe you're... Okay, yeah, so the Chariot came out, so maybe it's like you feel like things are moving forward so quickly and you're not sure. It's like you're trying to figure something out and you feel like you're running out of time, or like the deadline for something is approaching really quickly and you're not sure like how you're gonna handle that or how things are gonna be after that, if you're gonna meet that deadline. Whatever it is, you feel like you're being rushed towards something and it's stressing you out. So let's... Eight of Wands too. Okay, so for some of you, maybe you're feeling rushed about having to communicate with somebody or communicate something to somebody, and maybe there's like a certain time you have to do it by. Maybe someone's like, if I don't hear from you for this time, something happens. You know what I mean? Like there's some sort... the world. So there's some sort... There's an ending like approaching, right? Or encroaching. There's an ending encroaching that is stressing you out because you feel like it's coming way too quickly and you're not ready for it. And with the Eight of Wands, that's also very fast movement, but it also deals with communication. So it could be something about maybe you... this is a general reading, so I'm not going to pinpoint exactly what it is because it applies to many different people, so I'm going to leave it kind of broad with that. But let's say it's like a job interview that you have at a certain point and you're stressed about it, or maybe it's you're in some sort of like connection with somebody and you guys are meant to have like an important conversation that's coming up soon, or it could be finance related, like maybe you're figuring out your finance situation and you only have like a certain amount of time before your finances, like you have to change it or something. So the Fool here, okay, this just popped out. I haven't even pulled cards yet, but the Fool, this is going to work out, okay? When you have the World and you have the Ten of Wands and you have all those cards, those are endings, okay? So the ending of a cycle always makes way for a brand new beginning, which is a brand new cycle, right? Because the way energy works is they're interlocking circles. So when you're in one circle, one cycle, you'll stay in that cycle until you learn that lesson. And then once you learn that lesson, you'll go over here to the next circle, right? That's where the infinity symbol comes from, because it does this. This is what we are constantly doing with energy, okay? But we are progressing with it. So when you're stuck in one, you break out of it, you go to the next one, you do this. And then if you want to go to the next one, you end up doing this, and you'll start spinning the other way. So each time you start spinning a different way, when you're moving circles, that's the different cycles of like abundance, or, you know, you have periods of abundance, you have periods of lessons. Well, I mean, they're all lessons, but you know what I mean. Some are good, some are not so great, some are more difficult, some are really good, like really helpful, some of them are really challenging. It's because they're all meant to teach you, right? So the new cycle that you're coming into with the Fool, it's an uplifting one, Okay, so you've been in a cycle of hardship, of it feels stressful, it feels like there's so much on your plate, right? But if you look at this card, the Fool here, he's coming out of a dark cave that kind of feels like where we've been, right? Coming out of a dark cave, and this beautiful new horizon is there, and it's not crowded, it's not overwhelmed like our thought space has been, right? Our mental space. It's open, it's new, the sun is shining on it, it's a brand new day. That's why he's excited. He's ready to just leap off into the mountains, even though there's a large drop beneath him. You know what I mean? It's like ready to charge forward into this new energy. And this new energy is not going to be, it's going to be abundant. It's going to be heartfelt is an interesting word that came to mind. So it's, your heart space is really going to be, you're really going to be feeling it in your heart space, which is good. So whatever, I don't even know if I'm going to pull cards, honestly. Whatever's coming your way, yeah, you get the Three of Pentacles. So you're going to be cooperating with people, and it's going to really, you're going to really feel it in your heart space. Like, it's going to feel really good in your heart space. You're going to feel cared for. You're going to feel loved, not only from other people, but from yourself. Like, you're going to feel that self-love, that self-care. You're not going to be stressing like you have been. So there's a beautiful new cycle coming in, okay? Wow. Cards keep coming out. We got the Eight of Cups here. So, yeah, you're going to be walking away from this emotional unfulfillment, okay? Because the reason they walk away from these 8 cups, which was a little satisfying for a little while, it becomes stagnant because it wasn't exactly what they wanted. It was all right when they had it. They were grateful for it, but it was becoming stagnant. It wasn't going any further. So they're leaving the 8 to go find the 10, which is ultimate emotional fulfillment, right? So that's what you're doing. You're leaving the chaotic and stagnant energy in the past, and you're moving forward. So I don't even think, since we just addressed this, that's pretty much, I already talked about the past. So I think I'm just going to pull a spread for future and present, because we literally just talked about the past. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. Alright, let's pull some cards for your present energy, and then the future energy, which we've already touched on a little bit. I'm just going to take these for present, because there's a lot of messages coming through. Cards keep flying out here. Okay. Alright, so that's your present energy. Yeah, that's literally what we were just talking about with the Ten of Cups. So in the past, you walked away with that Eight of Cups toward the 10, and the 10 is in your present energy. I'm going to wait till I pull clarifiers to really see what they're saying here. There's the World again that came out earlier when we were shuffling. 10 of Swords, you had the 10 of Wands before. Virgo, OCD, right? I've gotten better with it, but it's still there. Alright, and if I'm going to do that in any reading, it better be the Virgo reading, because I know other people feel the same. Like, if I watch somebody else's reading and their cards are like all over the place, I'm like, it bothers me. Like, I can't look at the screen, I have to just listen to it. Alright, let's pull some clarifiers. I really hope you guys are well, though. Like, don't stress too much, right? Like, we were just looking, it was a very stressful energy, what we were looking at. There's that Eight of Cups again. In a different deck this time. So you have Judgment twice in your present energy. I almost just skipped Judgment. There's the Eight of Wands. And the Chariot. Both these cards came out earlier as well. Three of Pentacles, that came out earlier. This is really good energy, guys. You could be dealing... I was about to say Capricorn for the Devil, and then the Emperor popped out, so also in Aries. I never mentioned signs, but that just, like, stuck out at me. So for a few of you guys, that's a message there, okay? All right, so yeah, like I was saying, in your present energy, or I mean in your past energy that we were talking about, how you're moving away from the stress, coming into a new cycle that's much uh, better in a sense and more abundant, right? So, in your present energy, I'm going to start with the Ten of Cups, right? Because that's what we were talking about. You walked away with that Eight of Cups into the Ten of Cups. So, Four Wands and King of Cups. So, your emotional fulfillment is here, or it's almost here, because present energy is the closest to your energy. So, either it's currently happening or it's just about to happen. Whereas future energy is a little bit in the future, right? Because the way this works, right? I'm not telling you your future or anything like that. Like when people say, "Oh, I want you to tell my future," whatever, read cards, I'm like, I don't do that. What I do is tell you how your decisions and your choices and your actions that you're making currently, how that is manifesting your future with the consequences of those actions and thoughts and everything, right? So you have free will to make whatever choice you want, to do whatever you want, but you do not have control over the consequences of those choices. Okay? Those consequences fall under the laws of energy, the spiritual laws of energy. One of them being cause and effect, one of them being karma. There's a few laws, and I can talk about that in a future video, but so that's what I'm doing. I'm reading your consequences and applying the laws of energy to them so that this is what you're manifesting in your future um, with the laws of energy. Okay, so that's what this is. So your future and your present is always changing based on your actions. So currently, this is what you're doing, right? And this is what you're manifesting. So this is further down the line when the consequences catch up. And consequence does not mean bad. It simply means cause and effect. So your choice and then the consequence of your choice, whether that be great or not. So that's what reading is. So anyway, the reason I went off on that little explanation is because you have judgment twice in your present energy, okay? So judgment, again, is consequence. It's a judgment call. It's a decision that you've made, and now the karma is coming around, all right? Now, I don't see this in a bad way. This is actually, remember, judgment, there's no good or bad cards. Everything is subjective to the choice and the energy that you put onto it, right? So, you had the Hermit with the Five of Swords and Judgment. And I'll get back to this in a second. But you, like I said, like we talked about, you've been in hermit mode, you've been working on yourself, you've been stressed, you've been trying to just figure shit out, figure yourself out. And the Hermit is Virgo energy, and it's in the center of your reading, right? But with the Five of Swords, that's self-sabotage. Okay, so again, it's the negative self-talk, it's the overthinking, it's feeling overwhelmed, overburdened, it's creating those negative thought patterns in your brain, okay? And negative thought patterns, I don't mean like a few sporadic ones. For something to really make a path, like if you think about it, if you're walking through the woods, if you just walk through one time, you're not going to make a path in the forest. You have to continuously walk that same path for it to mat down and become a path through the forest, right? So when you see the Five of Swords, you've thought those things enough times that it's created a negative thought pattern or a negative thought path in your mental space, okay? So that's how many times you've been thinking it. So with judgment here, I don't know, I've literally never heard the phone ring because we haven't had a house phone until like a few months ago. So I was like, well, what is that? But apparently it only rang once. But anyway, so with judgment here, that's spirit stepping in and being like, all right, well, you've thought these negative thought patterns and here's your judgment for it, right? So you were experiencing all of those burdens or feeling overburdened and all of that stressful energy because that's what you were manifesting with the way you were speaking to yourself, right? So that's what you were dealing with. But then you have judgment, it's shifting. Okay, it's shifting from that energy. Now it's shifting into the Eight of Wands and the Chariot. Now these are more positive energy than the cards that came out earlier, okay? So now it's shifting into, instead of these negative thought patterns, it is now positive talk to yourself, right? Now you're making positive thought patterns where you're practicing self-love and practicing self-care, and because of that you are now like skyrocketing toward your manifestations, okay? Because your energy has to be in check before you can manifest anything, because what you are on the inside, what you feel on the inside, is what manifests in your outside reality. So you've now shifted your energy, and that's why you're entering into a cycle of abundance, because you get to the point where it's like you've been through so much shit lately that you've just had enough, and you've surrendered to spirit, like, okay, like I don't know what to do, like I need your help, you know what I mean? And the second you reach that point, you're relinquishing control and you're surrendering to spirit, and that's when it's everything manifests for you, because you can't manifest while you're trying to control something. You can only know that it's coming your way and surrender to how it comes your way. Hold on 1 second, I'm thirsty. Okay. So, yes. Because of that, we're going to come back to the Ten of Cups. Once you shifted your energy from that, right, you now are able to have the Ten of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment. Because you've shifted your energy, you are now becoming happy and content with yourself. Therefore, because you're feeling that way about yourself, you are attracting somebody who also views you in the same way that you are now viewing yourself, right? So you're attracting a King of Cups. But the Four of Wands, it's going to be very stable, okay? Four of Wands does also represent twin flame. But this is a general reading, so I'm not going to say for sure or not. But for some of you, it is a twin flame that is manifesting. It's not that you're coming back into union, but the perception of your twin about you is shifting because your perception of yourself is shifting, right? So your emotional fulfillment is encroaching very quickly, right? You're already having it with yourself, but the Ten of Cups is also with another person, with your counterpart, your divine half, right? So that is manifesting very quickly now, which is great. So you're back on the path of self-love and self-care, which in turn catapults you back towards your twin flame or your divine counterpart. So that's really good, okay? And then just to wrap up the rest of the present energy here, with Justice, you have the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So you are going to be... Spirit is not just addressing things with you, they are addressing people in your energy, okay? So the people that have been standoffish toward you and defensive and causing problems, they're going to be like flicked away, you know what I mean? They're going to be eradicated. And then the people that have been an emotional support for you, have been helping you and trying to care for you during your tough times, Spirit is going to be elevating them with you, okay? So it's going to depend on how people have been treating you, whether or not they're a part of your success. Because everyone wants to be a part of somebody's success, right? But not everyone deserves to be. So just keep that in mind. You're going to be seeing people, they could even be people close to you, they're going to be falling away, okay? When you are elevating, you can't take people with you. Spirit chooses who elevates with you, because they have to choose it themselves. So that's your present energy, okay? The Eight of Cups over there, the Two of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles, that's what we were talking about earlier, where you are walking away from what no longer served you because you were feeling a little stagnant before, like you were going back and forth with just that Eight of Cups. The Page of Pentacles, it was like not reaching your full potential. That's when you walked away toward the Ten of Cups, right? So now, coming down into the future energy, okay? Because of what you're currently doing, energy-wise, that we just talked about, this is what you are manifesting in return, right? As the consequence or the cause and effect. So that's what this means. So, first thing you have is the World with the Four of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. That cycle, this cycle that you're now in, that we just talked about, because you already had your cycle in the past. Remember, it's an ongoing cycle of cycles, right? So this cycle that you are currently in, that we just talked about, in the future, as that's ending, you are going to be healing. very strongly from anything that's lingering from the first cycle that we talked about, right? Because when you're in a cycle, you're learning the lessons of that cycle. You're not healing the lessons of that cycle yet. You don't heal until you move into the next cycle. So if you have a cycle here, here, and here, right? You have the past that we just talked about, present, and future. When you're in the present energy, you're healing the past lessons, right? But you're not healing the present ones. Once you move into the future, you start healing the present ones, right? And any lingering stuff before that. So it's always, that's what inner work is, right? It's things that have already happened that your subconscious has picked up that you're healing. So in the future, when you are healing the energy that you're currently in and any lingering energy from the past, you're going to be having people come in. Again, with that Three of Pentacles, right? That card's popped out a few times now. So you're going to have people that are going to be supporting you. You're going to have a nice support group, which is very important, right? I know us Virgos, especially myself, I prefer to be alone. I prefer to deal with things on my own. A lot of times Virgos act like a wounded animal, where it's like if we're dealing with something, we just shut ourselves away and we're a little like, stay away from me until I feel better type thing, which is a hermit energy. And I do that a lot. So you're going to be having people that want to help you, and it's okay to accept help, right? I know I have a problem with that too. I don't like to accept help. I'm like, I can do it myself. Because that's how Virgos can be. But people are there to help you, right? You're stronger together than you are separated. Even though we prefer to be alone, there's still strength in people, you know? So keep that in mind. 1 second, I'm thirsty again. Alright. So yeah, just don't be afraid to take on or to accept help from others, okay? Ten of Swords, the Tower, and the Ace of Wands. So again, any lingering Ten of Swords energy that you've been feeling, so like feeling betrayed, either by people, by yourself, by situations, whatever it is, feeling backstabbed, really just any lingering painful energy. Obviously not all of it, because it's impossible to completely 100% heal yourself. You'll always have work to do. But the major things that have been bothering you in the past and present are going to be cleared up in the future. Because with the Tower here, that's a complete breaking down of the old to make way for the new. So it's completely shattering the Ten of Swords in your energy, which is great, because then you have this Ace of Wands coming in. That is not only a new beginning, it's a very passionate, excited sexual energy, okay? And when I say sexual energy, it doesn't mean you're going to go out and have sex with everybody. You can do that if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure those people deserve your energy. But what I mean by that is when your sexual energy is heightened, your sexual energy is your life force, okay? So the more sexual you are, the healthier you are, actually. So the more life force you have, the more you manifest, right? So sex energy or sexual energy, or also it's called Kundalini energy, the more Kundalini that you have, the more you are able to manifest, right? So that's very strong, okay? And if you look at the Two of Cups here, the snakes on this card winding up the pole, that represents Kundalini, okay, that we just talked about, the sexual energy, because the Kundalini are two snakes that wrap around your spine. That's where the medical symbol comes from. I'm sure you guys have seen the medical symbol where it looks very similar to this, where it's the rod with the snakes going up, and then it has like the wings on top. That's what it means. The modern medicine was derived from Kundalini healing, okay? But modern medicine has forgotten that, because they went much more toward the 3D pursuit and ignored the 5D. That's why the most common cause of death is medical malpractice for a reason, because they're ignoring the spiritual side of things and they're only focusing on the physical, which is risky. But that's an entirely different conversation. The point I'm getting at is Kundalini energy is the most important energy that there is, okay? I mean, they're all equally important, but the life force energy, sexual energy, the energy of creation is the most important. And you're going to be having it here with another person in the future, All right, a very significant, this is a soulmate and twin flame energy. Okay, a very significant soul connection here. But with the moon, it's also talking about this is your desire. Okay, so your desire is to have that with somebody, and also this balance for it to be an equal connection between you two. And you're going to have that in the future here. But with your desire comes insecurity. So you're also afraid that the cups are going to be more like this. See how they're not balanced rather than exactly equal. Okay, so it's representing a few things. Your insecurities, but also your encroaching future energy, which is great. And also your desire or your wish for that to happen. So it is coming your way, right? Queen of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Five of Pentacles. So, like I said, this could be a Capricorn for you. That's what the Devil is, Capricorn. Also, it's paired with Earth energy. And then the Emperor here could be Aries. It's also paired with fire energy, right? But very strong Capricorn because it's Earth, Earth, Earth. So, this energy coming in, right, doesn't have to be a Capricorn. That's only for certain people. That's a synchronicity and a message. So this person coming in, they have been healing their own toxic energy, right? Their own attachments, their own codependencies, their own addictions with the Devil card. All of their self-sabotaging energies, they've been healing that as well, right? And the Five of Pentacles here, they've also been feeling like they've had to do it alone. For them, it's more so they wanted people around, but people didn't really want to help them with their problems because they were around the wrong type of people. So you're going to see the mirroring here where you prefer to do things on your own and you have people that want to help you that you kind of don't accept help from. And the person coming your way is the opposite, where they wish they had help, but the people around them don't want to help them because they don't truly care for them, right? So that's the mirroring there with twin flames. But this person has learned so much from those lessons because they're now in the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, which is great, right? So they're now coming into their own personal empowerment, not power, right? Because power is a pursuit of the ego, but personal empowerment, where you're feeling empowered to love yourself, to care for yourself, to care for others. Empowerment is much different than power. And then you have the Ace of Swords with the Emperor and the Nine of Wands. So they're making their way into the Emperor energy, right? Into the divine masculine energy. Divine masculine does not mean male, okay? It just means masculine energy. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, or anything in between. You can be a masculine energy, right? Like my twin, she has a lot of masculine energy. I have a lot of feminine energy. It doesn't matter. Point I'm getting at is they are coming into balance as an emperor, which is what they need to be for twin flame union to happen, right? So they're working on that. They still have their walls up, of course, because they're still healing, but it's on its way, okay? Because they have the Ace of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands. You guys are going to mirror each other here. It's coming, right? So that's beautiful energy, okay? So you guys have a very beautiful new cycle that you're currently entering into in your present energy and in the future, okay? So as tough as it's been lately, it's really going to start turning around, all right? And not just with emotional fulfillment, but with financial fulfillment as well. So that's what I had for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. You can turn it off now if you want. I'm just going to take a second to talk about my website because I didn't have time for the last reading that I did for Leo, I think. Just really quickly, I made a website, so if you want to book with me for a personal reading, that's now where you book with me. It also has a spiritual community that I've made that's completely free. It's brand new, so there's not that many members yet, but if you can join, please join, because like I said, it's free. It's a place for you to meet other twin flames, other people on the same journey, other people just want to talk about esoteric and spiritual things. It's all free to use. I just wanted to offer a place for that because there's not many. People have been signing up, which I really appreciate, because the more people that join, the bigger of a community we can have. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. I also have my artwork up there and my apparel line. which is I love to design. I'm an artist, so I have my artwork, my apparel line. If you want to support me that way, you can. You don't have to. If you're just here for like the free general readings, that's fine too. I wish you the best. Anyone that wanted to support me further, you can do that. I also have crystals up there. But yeah, all right. I'm done rambling about it. If you want to check it out, you can go to the website. I'm going to post the link in the description. It's just esotericinsight.com. And yeah, thank you guys very much, and I hope you have a great day.